time, it is on this program that we discuss topics of national interest, and we take us through the nitty-gritty of all that make up the topics that we have before us. And for today, we have three big topics. One, alleged fake asset declaration by INEC chairman, implication on 2023 election. Two, EFCC shouldn't be in existence, quoting Ulisa Agbakuba's son. Arrest of the suspected mastermind of Ogili explosion, DSS. These are the three topics that we shall be talking about this afternoon on the program in the newsroom. And as usual, I have my guests in the studios, Muhyiddin Adeleke of OSBC here. Muhyiddin, you're welcome to the program.
Yeah, I say good evening or good afternoon to our viewers, our uncle, Patunde Olatito.
That is it.
Yeah, it's nice being in this room, and we assure you that today we are here already to do justice to all the three topics before us.
Adeboye Popola is also here. Adeboye Popola, please say hello to our people.
Well, thank God that we are back into the newsroom for today's program, and by the grace of God, we will be guided aright, and safely we will sail through.
Yeah. That is Mr. I'm putting Mr. now. Mr. Adeboye Popola. Yes, to make it official.
Yes.
The first topic of the day, alleged fake asset declaration by INEC chairman, implication of 2023 election. Let me start from Muhyiddin. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, declared his asset, but it is seen to be fake in some quarters. And even if it is fake, or if whether it is fake or not, will it affect the 2023 general election?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Yes, a Nigerian, a full-blooded Nigerian, if you say. We have to be very careful at this auspicious time when the general elections are approaching. The polls will hold in February, and we are all eager. We're looking forward to not only credible, we want free, fair, credible, and acceptable elections this year. And if you cast your mind back, Association of Better Nigeria
of those days, of Abimbola Davis,
the likes of Izeribe
and yes, Izeribe,
they did an incalculable havoc. They wreaked havoc.
Yes.
On the, not only on the psyche of the country, in fact, we were set back by so many years. You can imagine Op 93. We all worked towards electing late Chief MK Abiola.
Yeah.
It was a Muslim ticket, but everybody was on the same page, both the north and southern parts.
Nobody cared about.
Nobody cared.
All we wanted was a better Nigeria.
At the end of the day, the election passed all the litmus tests that you want to think of. It ticked all the boxes. But at the end of the day, what really happened? A self-styled president, military president of Nigeria, just
that we never had in this country.
Exactly, just decided to go, and he claimed that his eyes were tied, and his hands were tied, that he was under pressure. The rest is history now. You know what followed the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election.
Yeah.
You know how much damage it did to the Southwest in particular. We are still licking the wounds now. So that's why I'm saying we have to be very, very careful in this country. I know there are people out there who do not wish the country well.
Yeah.
They are at it again. And the judicial arm of government, judiciary has to be very, very, to be on alert, not to allow itself to be used by unscrupulous elements in the country. Again. Because when interlocutory injunctions
of different sorts
keep flying from left, right, and center, then the nation could bleed. And we survived 1993. 2023, I just hope nothing of such will be our portion in Nigeria again. The High Court of the Federal Capital Territory did well by coming up with this judgment. As far as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the man did the needful in declaring his assets. I don't think it is what will I say? I don't think it will be patriotic or anybody, or for anybody to now come up with spurious allegations less than 50 days
to the election.
So that's what I want to say here now. We have to be vigilant in this country. The government must be vigilant. All the security operatives agencies should be vigilant. All Nigerians should be vigilant, because these people will not stop at maybe throwing spanner. They want to throw spanner into what it has taken the country to be. Everybody is already applauding the system, that it is meeting the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians.
Of the people.
We are not saying the election will be foolproof, that everything, no election in the history of the world
is perfect.
It's perfect. But I think we are making progress. So we should consolidate on the progress we have made, rather than allowing anybody to set us back.
Yeah.
It could be catastrophic. I pray it doesn't happen.
There are people we call the fifth column.
Yes.
These fifth columns, according to what we did has said, are just rearing their head one way or the other again. We are all students of history. We knew what operated after the June 12 election. It started like play, like this. And before you know it, Nigerian courts give accelerated hearing and accelerated judgment, if there's anything so called.
Even far into the night.
So you can see
the court sat far into the night.
And that time there were no technicalities against the judgment, against the case. Everything were perfected. Now, this is 2023. 1993, 2023. We are going into another election. And we are beginning to see handwriting on the wall, especially with what happened here, that, about the chairman of INEC. Maybe that is the way they want to pay their incursion. They want to make their incursion into this matter. What was your reaction immediately you saw this?
You see, my reaction is that in every system, you will have people who will want to truncate the system. You see, the likes of those people are the people behind the allegation against the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission. You see, when politics is a kind of game that unscrupulous people, those who want to rig their way into political offices, they will want to explore all means to ensure that their motive is implemented, and that is what we have started saying. You see, the pill, what had happened is a pill of slowful, is a pill signaling a slowful means that these people want to, or saying that these people are on it again. They are trying to bring themselves into the system again, to destabilize the whole system. You see, when I saw it, I'm not that particularly amazed, because it is all, politics is involved.
Yes.
You see, and take a look at Nigerian political terrain now. You will see that some contestants into various political offices, particularly presidency, they have started seeing the handwriting on the wall. The individual now who are contesting have started saying what they weight, their worth, as far as their assessment by the electorate is concerned. So those people who have said that by and large they are likely to lose the election, they will not wait. If there is an adage in Yoruba language that bí eku yóò bá jẹ sèse yóò fi ṣe àwàdà. You see, if you
kàkà kéku má jẹ sèse.
Kàkà kéku má jẹ sèse.
That's how it is said in Yoruba balance. Not bí eku bá jẹ sèse.
Kàkà kéku má jẹ sèse.
If I don't have it, you will not have it.
You will not. That is it. That is what. That is the game. That is what is started, manifesting now. Some people have started, started admitting that they have failed, but those who have a propensity of, having success in the election, they want to truncate everything so that the success of the election will not belong to anybody. That is what those people are planning now. And
maybe they just want a way of giving a dog a bad name.
That is
why they can plan their own man who will help them do the manipulation.
That is what I'm saying. That if it doesn't belong to me, by all means, with all my calculations, with all my machinations, with all my crook ways, with all my craftiness, if it doesn't belong to me, if it will not come to me eventually, so don't let it get to anyone. Or let us find ways of removing this rigid man, because they have said Mahmoud has been too rigid for their liking. So let us remove him.
And that's the Bible is focused.
And this is the man who has taken it upon himself to ensure that the legacy of credible election is laid in Nigeria, that he gives Nigeria that legacy. And when you are determined, we will see some people who want to, disrupt your plan. Those people who went to court are the likeness of those people coming with disruption.
You see, Nigeria, why is it that when election is around the corner, why is it that it is then that these people begin to come with all sorts of pranks? I want to call it pranks.
Yes.
Why?
And there is no why other than the desire to truncate the process. That is just it. In every setting, why you see a coterie of individuals who are where many individuals who will always fight for the good of the nation. They want things to run. Things to run their normal courses. They want governance to be a responsible one, at least where majority of the populace will benefit. There will be some people, just as I'm sorry to make an analogy.
Okay.
In the university system, it is when the examination is coming up that some people will start yes now, and those people who are always behind such a sinister move, they never do well. The examination fever will be there. They will, I have not read. The exam is starting.
They have allowed social life to overtake
exactly
academics.
So they will find a way of starting student unrest on the campus. Nigeria is a country peopled by all sorts of elements. Yes, many of us are patriotic. We want to be on the good side of the law. We want to maintain law and order. We want the system to run. When we make reference to the advanced nation, it is these advanced nations are the countries where the system works. Those who do not wish the country well will devise means of circumventing the system. They will want something to happen. Some are really benefiting. You see, when there is crisis now, okay, for instance, we are currently experiencing first scarcity, among other things. There is a kind of ambiguity. We don't know which is which. Is the bomb price going to go up? The federal government has consistently inundated us, telling the populace, the entire populace, that first subsidy will not be removed until June, that it is planned to last till June 2023. But all indications point to the fact that
has already
exactly. So now you see marketers selling. That is what the kind of things where some people will benefit. Some will say this is the period they relish. This is the period they so much they desire, because this is their own period. That is when they make more money. More, I don't know whether we can call that profit, because they are not. It's not profit. While some petrol dealers are selling at the normal price, pump price. Some who are buying from the same sources.
I've decided to
No, I've decided to even sell as high as 270, 260. I'm very sure in some other areas the pump price will be higher than 260, 270. So the problem with us in Nigeria, I don't know, this is a country that is endowed, we have always said it on the set, that Nigeria is endowed with natural and human resources. But the way we manage our destiny leaves much more to be desired.
Thank you.
And it has to do. That's why I do say you can't blame the entire problems of this country on our leaders. The followers too. Many of us are devilish. Many of us are I don't know. We are not just out for the good of the country.
Thank you, Woodin. And you see, Professor Mahmoud Yacoub has demonstrated to Nigerians that he's a serious chairman of INEC. They have brought in a lot of technological innovation.
Initially, it was not trusted.
Yes.
But now, along the line, he has stabilized.
He has stabilized.
And he has given hope.
He has brought in a lot of innovations, especially the beavers thing, which make it a little bit for anybody to really fault the electoral process. Faulting the electoral process will be very difficult with that. But as we are talking now, that, like the two of you have said, some people now see him as a threat to their
that sinister move.
To their sinister move or informations.
Yes.
And the only thing is to get him discredited and get him removed.
Yes.
So that they can plan their own man who will dance to their team.
Or even truncate the process.
Or even, yes, or abort the whole thing.
Yes.
And pray that they are back to square one. And like Popola said, some people are already sniffing the feet.
Yes.
They are already feeling the heat.
The heat of
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
I will be very happy if Wola can name
He will not give names.
Let him name names.
No. You see.
Those who are
when you are going into a war in which you have already been defeated, you yourself you will know. A candidate going to write a particular paper in that we have all written a number of examinations in our life.
Yes.
When you are going for an examination, you see, a particular course in which you have, battered all the handouts and they read extensively, you will go into the examination hall with full confidence. But in some occasions, when you are not fully prepared, you see, you yourself, that prophecy,
that the conscience will be troubled.
you don't need a balist, you don't need
you don't need a prophet.
You can now instigate Samuel.
You see,
you don't need a soothsayer
to tell you that this day, and the same thing.
We don't want a Luther.
But let me say this: we are enjoying all this hope as far as the election is concerned, because the president himself wants something good to happen to this country.
He said it.
If the president had not been so
serious
and committed,
yeah,
those people they should have dealt with their own trick.
Yes. But before we go to the next topic, one thing I know is that the body language of President Muhammadu Buhari is really helping matter.
Oh, that is what I'm saying. And that is the reason some people
he has refused.
Excuse me. And that is the reason some people who knew from the beginning that they cannot make anything as far as credible election is concerned. They will not. Who knew that they can't make anything out of credible election. And they had wanted to name on the personality of the president to regain or to launch themselves on the country. When they started seeing that this president is not dancing to the tune of our drum, they started having a rethink. That is what is happening now.
All I know is that we will elect a leader and the election will be credible.
By the grace of God.
Yes, let's go to the next topic. EFCC shouldn't be in existence and Bafoma. EFCC is a child of circumstance. If Nigeria or Nigerians were not as corrupt to the superlative, EFCC would not be born at all. There was ICPC, there is ICPC, there is EFCC. About two very big agencies saddled with the responsibility of working against corruption and corrupt people in Nigeria. Olisa Agbakuba is an human rights lawyer, and for him to come out to say EFCC shouldn't be in existence.
He's even a senior advocate
A senior advocate of the
former president of
NBA. And for him to say this, he's really saying something. And it is capable of multiple interpretations. Capable of multiple interpretations in the sense that one can interpret it to mean that if Nigerians have been upright, what is the need for the EFCC to exist in the first place? And saying that another way to look at it is that now that EFCC itself is being used in court, is allegedly being used to fight supposed enemies, political rivals, as it were, it shouldn't be in existence. Those are the two meanings I give to it. Let me start from Popular this time around. This is a very, very senior colleague of yours saying EFCC should not be in existence. What is your interpretation of what Agbakuba said?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the learned senior advocate of Nigeria is entitled to his opinion. He could assess any government agency the way he perceives the agency. And as a Nigerian, and as a lawyer of that reputation, high reputation, he must have examined the working modalities and the performances and the achievements of EFCC, because by his position in the society, he is in the position to do that. But as far as I'm concerned, EFCC, like every other security agencies that we have in Nigeria and elsewhere, every security agency in the country is a child of necessity. Because the US shouldn't have put up FBI and all other CIA and some other security apparatus if their system, if American system, doesn't call for it. Because our system in Nigeria calls for an agency like EFCC, we put it up. Remember that even within the police, we have a department dealing with fraud, financial fraud. We have it among within the police. But in a bid not to overburden the police in a crime relating to humanity, that is direct crime to humanity. And I think that was the reason the EFCC was put in place initially. And for putting it up, the then president who put it up is also a Nigerian who had monitored the system for quite a number of years. You will remember that President Olusegun Obasanjo, who mooted the idea of EFCC, was formerly a military head of state.
Yeah. And
when he was coming up as a civilian president, the first bill he channeled to the National Assembly was this bill of setting up EFCC. And to my mind, since the EFCC had been put up, the agency has been performing, and he had secured a number of convictions of corrupt people in Nigeria. And if the learned senior advocate of Nigeria is now saying that he doesn't know the reason or the effectiveness of that organization, then I know that he would have defended 2 or 3 people arrested by
EFCC.
By EFCC.
And presented for prosecution.
And you see, by now, I don't see him coming up with sufficient and cogent reasons why that organization should not have been put up in the first place. If EFCC has been used to persecute Nigerians, I mean, he is a lawyer. How many applications has he put up in court to prove that this man being prosecuted by EFCC is a victim of circumstances? Or you see, he will have explained to Nigerians why EFCC should not, in the first instance, coming up as an agency.
Now let me go to one again. You see, former President Olusegun Obasanjo made some statements when he was a sitting president. He said the police have been overburdened with a lot of functions.
Yes.
He said it's like jack of all trades, master of none. And that the police should be relieved of some of the responsibilities to be given to some other department. That was what led to the creation or recognition of civil defense, creation of EFCC, among others. Now, Olisa Agbakoba is saying EFCC shouldn't be in existence. What is your own interpretation of that statement? Because it is, I said it's capable of multiple interpretations.
Thank you very much. I am not learned, but I'm educated.
That is it.
So
so you are seeing it from the point of view of an educated person.
Yes, without necessarily being arrogant.
Yeah,
I'm sufficiently educated.
I think I like that.
Yes, to to say so much about what is happening in the country. Come to think of it, he has been able to come up with some reasons. I was a bit taken aback when Mr. Adewe Kukuola the other time was saying that without cogent reason. In the first instance, what he's saying is that the establishment of EFCC was done outside the 1999 Constitution. That it has no root in the 1999 Constitution as amended. That Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution has clearly stated that the powers of government were divided into two, the federal and state. And that brings us something again, and that has to do with the relevance of local government. That means it is either it is federal or state. So the Constitution recognizes only two tiers of government. Two tiers of government. So he even made allusion to the past pronouncements of the apex court in the land, the Supreme Court, in respect of federalism. That it means there are two autonomous and independent governments. If that is correct, according to him. So he says that the EFCC has no right. Since it is the creation of the National Assembly, that it has no right
of the Constitution.
Exactly, and it has no right to now interfere in matters at the state level. So what that is what is, even in law, jurisprudence, you continually you have to continually make allusion. You have to continually, exactly. In jurisprudence, it depends on how logical you are when you are speaking under jurisprudence. So he made reference to Section 36 of Section 12 of the EFCC Act. Yes, he made reference to section 46 of the EFCC Act and section 32 subsection 12 of the 1999 Constitution. So he says section 36 subsection 12 states that all offences must be defined, and when you now read section 46 of the EFCC Act, you ask yourself if it is complete or if it complies with section 32 subsection 12 of the 1999 Constitution. So invariably what he is saying, please don't interrupt. What he is trying to say is that since the EFCC is a creation of the National Assembly and that we have two autonomous tiers of government, federal and state, and the activities of EFCC are not on the exclusive list, and that we cannot I mean, only the police, according to him, only the police is created to perform the function that EFCC is performing. So he's saying that EFCC has no power. According to the 1999 Constitution, the Constitution provides for only the police force, and that the anti-graft agency, the EFCC, is not a branch of the Nigerian police, so it cannot perform the functions of the police. So this is what is based. He has based. He said he has nothing against EFCC. According to Bakoba said he has nothing against EFCC, and that he wouldn't mind going into dialogue with Abdullahi Bawa. Is he Abdullahi Bawa? Yes, Rashid Bawa. Himself is a lawyer. So in law is an ass. So that is the problem. There is a lacuna. The lacuna we have continually identified in the 1999 Constitution. I don't know for how long we are going to be perambulating, I mean, just circumambulating on the. I don't know how. This is a country. I don't know what is wrong with Nigeria. Why is it? It has been so difficult for us to come up with a comprehensive new law, or would I say codified constitution.
Because of our time, that's my own. For just 2 minutes, Popola,
yes.
Don't you see this as imaginations of politicians who want EFCC out of the way so that when they get there will be no EFCC again?
Let me say this. Even with due respect to the managed cinema appropriate technology.
I thought you were going to make reference to me as the landed. I wouldn't have considered
the man is
because
the man is approbating and reprobating as far as the issue of EFCC is concerned. You see, why do we have the National Assembly? You see, the importance of National Assembly is to bridge the gap that the circumstances of life, the ever-changing and ever-striking events in a particular environment where a particular constitution is in operation. You see, the purpose of bridging those gaps brings about what we call the National Assembly. Because when you are talking of the law, you see, the essence of the National Assembly is to ensure that there is no lacuna as far as the law is concerned. Why do we have the judiciary? Why can't the legal system refer whatever disputes to the president to resolve? Because that is the reason I said that the man himself is blowing hot and cold at the same time. The National Assembly sees that there is need to,
relieve the police authority of some burdens that have hitherto, been an hindrance or hindrances for them in
executing their functions.
Yeah, that is a crime prevention.
I wouldn't want us to dwell much on this topic because.
So I know that is what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the EFCC, are they not dealing with criminals?
Yeah.
A corrupt person. So we have different types of crimes. The crime, economic crime, is a severe crime.
Yeah,
and that is
financial crimes too.
Financial crime. That is
don't want to go into.
You see,
don't let's go into that. Later we maybe subsequently we will still do something about that.
Yes.
Arrest of the suspected mastermind of Kogi explosion. Yes, arrest of the suspected mastermind of Kogi explosion. In Kogi State, there was an explosion around the time when the president was preparing to come to Kogi State. And now the people are reportedly arrested. If it does not involve the visit of the president, would these people have been arrested?
Yes, it is logical to come up with that hypothetical question, because the arrest, the arrest you applaud, or you want to laud the DSS for rising to the occasion and for effecting arrest as expected with what do we call it? It was done with dispatch. That is what is expected. That is the kind of response an average Nigerian will expect from the security operatives in Nigeria. Even though we have always clamored for this intelligence gathering from time to time, with a view to nipping crime and criminality in the bud. In a society, you see, the quality of life, the importance we attach to the quality of the life, the sanctity of life. You measure the attachment with the kind of service that is provided by the authorities, the power that be. And that is why the life of an average American, yes, the soul of an average American is guarded jealously. You hardly will see, if not because of their own peculiarities that often has to do with what do we call it? People just picking up a gun and shooting. That's our own peculiarity. Yeah. We have our own here, and that's what we are talking about. Yeah. So every community, every nation has its own peculiarities. In Nigeria here, the value we attach to the life of an average Nigerian is not much. So that's why people die like fowls, like chicken. But in this case, the way the security DSS really rose to the occasion and effected the arrest of that guy. In fact, he was shot he was trying to escape. He was shot, and currently we learned that he's receiving treatment at an undisclosed health facility. So what we are saying is that the government, successive administrations in this country must make concerted efforts, spirited efforts to protect the lives and property of the people. None of us is expected to die just like that without because in Nigeria here, we can't be talking about economic development, we can't be talking about political development and infrastructural development when the lives of the people are not safe. So definitely, while we commend the DSS for the feat, much is still needed. An average man walking on the streets is supposed to get the same treatment that was accorded, because the president was involved. He is the symbol of the nation, no doubt about that, and whatever it takes to protect his life, it must be done.
Must be seen to be done.
But it has to be extended
to all other Nigerians.
Exactly. That means we have to secure this nation.
Yeah, Obola, are you towing the same line?
Yes. But the only area where the only area of divergence is that he loaded the DSS, that the culprits were later arrested.
And very promptly too.
And very promptly. You see, when the harm is done, are you getting what I'm saying? A country where the intelligence gathering is superb, is a network, functions, in a network system. The president is visiting a state, and few hours to his arrival, an incident like that happened, and it was not discovered. And that visit has been on the diary of the president at least for some hours. One would say that the country's intelligence gathering should have to be rejigged. It will have to be rejigged, because left to me there is complacency somewhere. Complacency somewhere. Some people somewhere are lackadaisical. Some people somewhere are not effective. There is element of inefficiency in the workings of security agents in Nigeria. Some agents are so lackadaisical, some agents are not that efficient in the way they are carrying out their duties.
Yes, thank you very much, gentlemen. Having exhausted the three topics we are discussing this afternoon, I think we need to call it a day. I want to specially thank Muideen Adeleke, who has been speaking on the three topics, very, making allusions to relevant sections of the law, which I really applaud him for. And Adeboye Popola, who has always been appropriating and reprobating.
Adeboye Popola was chuckling. He has been chuckling.
Appropriating and
when you were making reference to him, he was chuckling. Don't mind him.
For appropriating and reprobating on behalf of the producer of the program, Oladayo Oladipepu, and the executive producer, Akinola Owolabi, Babatunde Bolatito is my name. I say see you next Friday by the grace